This is the mechanized arsenal of France. From the steel behemoths that defended the Maginot Line to the American-built giants that liberated Paris. This is the ultimate catalog of every major French military vehicle used in World War II. Let's begin with the defenders of the Republic. Char B1 bis, the Colossus, the pride of the French army, heavily armored and armed with a hull-mounted 75mm howitzer and a turret-mounted 47mm gun. In 1940, it was the toughest tank in the world. Somua S35, the cavalry tank, fast, well-armored, and cast from steel. It was widely considered the best medium tank in the world when the war began, outclassing the German Panzer III. Renault R35, the most numerous tank in the French inventory. Designed for slow infantry support, heavily armored but undergunned. Renault R40, the upgraded R35. It featured a completely new suspension system with AMX tracks for better cross-country performance. Hotchkiss H35, the cavalry's light tank, fast on roads but notoriously difficult to steer off-road. Hotchkiss H39, the Hunter, an improved H35 with a stronger engine and the potent long-barreled SA-38 cannon. FCM 36, a futuristic diesel tank. It featured advanced sloped welded armor, foreshadowing modern tank design, though only a few were built. Renault D2, the medium tank, famous for being commanded by Charles de Gaulle. It featured a dedicated radio turret. Renault D1, the predecessor to the D2. It served mainly in North Africa and was mechanically fragile. Renault FT, the grandmother, the World War I legend. Thousands were still in service in 1940 guarding airfields and bridges. Char 2C, the land battleship, a 70-ton super heavy tank built after World War I. They were the largest operational tanks in the world, used mostly for propaganda. Renault NC-27, an export version of the FT used by French colonial forces in Asia and Africa. Armored cars and Reconnaissance. Panhard 178, the Discovery, the gold standard of armored cars, four-wheel drive, fast, and armed with a deadly 25mm autocannon. Renault AMR 33, a fast, light reconnaissance tankette designed to swarm ahead of the main force. Renault AMR 35, the upgrade to the AMR 33. It was the fastest tracked vehicle in the French inventory. Renault AMC 35, a cavalry combat tank, one of the few French tanks with a two-man turret, solving the visibility issues of other tanks. Renault AMC 34, the predecessor to the AMC 35, used in limited numbers. Lafley 50AM, an older armored car converted from a truck chassis, used for internal security. Lafley 80AM, the White Lafley, a powerful colonial armored car, distinct for having a rear-facing machine gun for retreats. Berliet VUDB, an armored personnel carrier designed specifically for desert warfare in the colonies. Panhard 165-175, a dedicated colonial armored car used in North Africa. White TBC, an ancient World War I armored car still used in the colonies for policing duties. Dodge White, a makeshift armored car built by the French army in Syria by welding armor plates onto American truck chassis. Half-tracks and artillery tractors, the French specialty, the engines that moved the heavy guns. Somua MCG, the standard medium half-track, essential for towing the 105mm and 155mm field guns. Somua MCL, the heavy hauler, designed to pull the massive heavy artillery pieces and recover damaged tanks. Unic P107, a fast half-track used by combat engineers and for towing anti-tank guns. Citroën Congress P19, a fast half-track car used by dragoons for rapid infantry movement. Citroën Congress P17, the smaller brother of the P19 used for lighter duties. Citroën Congress P14, a heavier variant often used as a radio command vehicle. Lafley S15T, a six-wheeled, all-terrain artillery tractor, famous for its small helper wheels on the nose to cross trenches. Lafley V15T, a dedicated 4x4 tractor used to tow the 25mm anti-tank gun. Lafley W15T, a low-profile version of the S15. Ladle Tar H2, a heavy 4x4 truck and tractor. A brute used to haul heavy fortifications guns. Ladle M7T1, a small 4x4 tractor used by fortress troops and the Navy. Logistics and trucks, the unsung heroes, the backbone of the logistics. WWII Chenalette, a tiny, tracked prime mover. It was everywhere, towing supplies, mortars, and ammo trailers. Lorraine 37L, a tracked supply carrier, essential for keeping tank divisions fueled. Lorraine 38L, an armored personnel carrier variant capable of carrying a full squad. Renault AGR, the heavy truck of the French Army, carrying 3.5 tons of supplies. Renault AGK, a robust medium truck used for troop transport. Citroën U23, a light truck used for personnel. Thousands were later captured and used by the Germans. Citroën T45, a heavy truck often used as a bus or troop carrier. Peugeot DK5, a light utility ambulance and cargo van. Matford F917, a French-built Ford V8 truck, powerful and reliable. Berliet GDRA, a standard heavy cargo truck found in rear echelons. Lafley V15R, the Reconnaissance version of the V15 used by officers for liaison duties. Simca 5, a tiny staff car, licensed Fiat Topolino, used by messengers and officers. Self-propelled guns and prototypes, the desperate innovations and secret projects. Lafley W15 TCC, a tank destroyer created by mounting a 47mm anti-tank gun onto the back of a truck. It was a Panzer Hunter. Sau 40, an assault gun prototype based on the Somua S35. It carried a 75mm gun in the hull. Arl V39, a rival assault gun prototype to the Sau 40, designed to destroy fortifications. Arl 44, designed secretly during the occupation. It mounted a powerful 90mm gun to fight Tiger tanks. FCM F1, a super heavy tank mock-up intended to breach the Siegfried Line. AMX 40, the Duck, a highly sloped cavalry tank that never left the drawing board. Somua S40, an improved S35 with a new turret, halted by the German invasion. The Free French Lend-Lease, the Arsenal of Liberation, 1943 to 1945. M4 Sherman, the icon of liberation. French crews painted names of provinces on them, leading the charge into Paris. M4A1, 76, the upgun Sherman used in late 1944 to counter heavier German armor. M4A3E2 Jumbo, heavily armored assault Shermans used to break through the Siegfried Line. M10 Wolverine, the tank destroyer, manned by French naval gunners, famous for their accuracy. M3 Stuart, the Honey, used for high-speed reconnaissance. M5A1 Stuart, the improved light tank used by the First French Army. M8 Greyhound, the standard Allied armored car for scouting. M20 Utility Car, the command version of the Greyhound. M3 Half-Track, the standard personnel carrier for mechanized infantry. M3 Scout Car, the White Scout Car, used extensively in the early North African campaigns. M8 Scott, a Sherman hull with a 75mm howitzer for close support. M7 Priest, a self-propelled artillery piece used by French armored divisions. GMC CCKW, the Jimmy, the legendary 2.5-ton truck that carried the supplies of liberation. Dodge WC-51, the Beep, a rugged weapons carrier. Willis Jeep, the universal vehicle of the Allied forces. Crusader, British cruiser tanks used by the Free French in North Africa. Valentine, British infantry tanks used before American aid arrived. From the complex engineering of the 1930s to the overwhelming power of the Lend-Lease fleet, this is the complete story of French armor. Which of these unique designs is your favorite? Let me know in the comments.